Okay, everyone, let's take care of business real fast. Again, crossed off assessment. It's not assessment. This is just an overview of everything y'all should have learned these past couple of weeks. So let's just call this a review. Make sure you're on topic 1. I'm gonna go through this very quickly just so that we're not wasting too much time. This is just foundational pieces from the first topic of Module 1 in Algebra 2. Looking at number 1. Okay. Reading the statement to translate into 3 equations, and that's the biggest thing. And so for this instance, it's pretty simple because it's already telling you what you're going to do since we're using our strategies and looking at the answer choices. I'm going to highlight some key information. The vendor of the craft show shows sold items for $4, $6, $7.50. Altogether, the vendor sold 87 items. We don't know what type of items. We can name whatever we want in just a second. And the total was $4.89. This is going to be a different key thing. The vendor sold 5 more items for $6 than $7.50. What is the system? Quickly, I see 3 different values, so it's already going to tell me that's my X, Y, Z. In Algebra 2, because we're working with 3 variables, now we're including the Z variable instead of just X, Y like in Algebra 1. I am going to define what the variables are because we have items, we don't know what they are. Let's just think of something. It's a craft show. I'm just going to say pencils is X. Let's put Y is brushes because it's crafts. Let's think of some painting. And then Z is the paint. Okay. Now, for the first equation, it's pretty straightforward because money goes with money, right? So I see X, Y, Z, money. So if I do my first equation, which is, let me scroll down a little bit. And again, if you need to pause it to write, pause it because I'm going to keep going no matter what. Remember, you could pause the video. We'll write the first piece of it, which is 450x plus $6y plus 750z is equal to dollar amount, which is $4.89. Okay? And I already know a lot of us are going to look at the answer choices. Obviously, it's not letter A because this right here is going to items, which is not necessarily what we want. Same scenario for letter B, going dollar amounts to items. That's not what we want. Letter C looks good. Letter D looks good. Okay, so we're on the right track. Next equation is the item types. Because it's saying they sold 87 items. Let me change the color. Sold 87 items, but they're not telling me what items they are. I just know that altogether it's 87. So take that as an inference. I know if I did pencils plus brushes plus paint, that gives me all the items that they took care of. So in equation form, I'm going to say pencils plus brushes plus paint equals 87 items sold. We already crossed out A and B. Okay. One second, check. So now we got the scenario with Y equals Z plus 5 or Z equals Y plus 5. Looking at that underlying statement I did before, the vendor sold 5 more items for $6, which is my Y, then for $7.50, which is my Z. So I need to say that I have 5 more of Y. So I have 5 additional brushes than paint. So how do I write that? How do I write that? I need to make sure that I say, I know that there is 5 more brushes than paint. So should I write brushes equals 5 plus paint? Should I write, how can I write this in a format that makes sense to me? Because I know no matter what, I'm gonna have paint and I'm always gonna be adding 5 because the brushes is 5 more than the paint. So there we go, that made sense to me. So if I write Y and Z, and I know it's Z plus 5 equals my Y, then I know for paint, there will always be 5 more to give in my brushes. And there's my equation. Sounded very confusing, I understand. I apologize for that. So the answer is C, I think. I'm gonna look back up. Okay, I wrote it backwards. And I'm gonna rewrite it just so it looks a little nicer. So brushes equals paint plus 5. All right, nice. I love it. Let's keep going. What is the solution to the system of equations? This is something we got to do by hand. It's a non-negotiable. You have to be able to do this work by hand. And we're going to start very simple with just substituting, right? Because we're doing substitution. I see this Z by itself that automatically tells me, hey, I could put it right here. So let's rewrite this equation. Got X plus Y plus, I don't want the Z, I can replace the Z's with 2Y equals 18. Bell's ringing right now, so sorry, I apologize. I'm gonna do some combining like terms. So I got this 1Y plus this 2Y. So I have X plus 1 plus 2 is 3Y equals 18. Now I can't solve for a specific variable because I still have X and Y, so I'm not gonna be able to get a value yet. So that means we're gonna start substituting to another equation. It's gonna be pretty crazy. So I'm gonna say, let's move this 3Y over there so I can get this X by itself. So minus 3Y, minus 3Y. This cancels, right? 3 minus 3 is 0. Now I got X equals negative 3Y plus 18. Can't subtract those because those are not like terms. Next part. Again, if you need to pause, please pause. Now I got an X. Issue is, I already used the first equation, so I can't use this and go back in and substitute because I'm just gonna keep going in circles. If I wanted to, I could, but I like using each equation correspondingly. So I got an X by itself, I have a Z by itself. Now I get to put X and Z right here. So now we can solve for Y. Okay, here we go. Make it a little bigger. Okay, so I'm gonna do 5. Instead of X, I'm gonna put the new information right here, negative 3Y plus 18. Plus 2Y. Plus 6, not the Z, but this 2Y because we're replacing. Which equals 285. And this is gonna go pretty quick in just a moment. Okay, backtrack. First thing was I got my Z, went up to here to fix this out. After fixing it out, I noticed I still have two variables, so I'm gonna isolate the X. I see a X, I see a Z. I'm gonna substitute into the third equation so that I can solve for this Y, because not all I see are Y's. Here we go. The change, no, I'll leave it at red, okay. Distribute 5 times -3, -15y. 5 times 18, that's 50, 40, 90. Bring down that 2y. And then the last distribute, 6 times 2y is 12y. Sorry, forgot the equals 85. Next step, I see like terms. Combining like terms, I have -15, 2, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus -15 is -1. That's a 90 by itself. I'll just bring it down. Equals 85. Almost done. I gotta move that 90 to the other side by subtracting because we're doing additive inverse. 90 minus 90 is 0. Bring down this -1y equals 80 minus 90 is -5. Last step, I have multiplication. Inverse of that is divide. Divide y equals double negative turns into a positive. And now we got the y by itself. Okay. This makes it nice. Now I could take that y and I can find my z. There's a y right there. So I'm gonna take that y, put it in here, and then we're gonna have our z. Let's check it out. Z equals 2y. Different color. Let's use black, is fine. Z equals 2y. So now I'm gonna take this 5, substitute it, and then we get our z. Hopefully, no, 2 times 5 is. Boom. 2 pieces just like that. Now I got my last piece. We need our x, and the easiest equation to do this is the first one, x plus y plus z. Hopefully we can just look at it and do it, but it's okay. We're gonna do it all together. Let's use, I guess, this color. So I got x plus y plus z equals 18. X stays alone because I still don't know what that is. Plus, instead of y, I have 5. Plus, instead of z, I have a 10. Some of us probably already know the answer. X plus 10 plus 15 is, 10 plus 5 is 15. Of course, I'm doing the algebraic way. Isolating the x, so minus 15. That looks bad, sorry. 0. X equals 15 minus 18 minus 15, 3. And that's it. It is a must that you know how to do all this junk right here, okay? I'm gonna attach this to the Schoology so you can go back and look. I'm gonna fix that 15 because it looks like an 18. But for the most part, definitely doable on your own. Let me check video time right now because I feel like we've gone over a lot. Okay. Next page is over matrices, so we're gonna make sure that we remember how to do matrices. I didn't even check the time, 14 minutes. I'm gonna do one more problem and then we'll go to video 2 so it's not overwhelming. Or do you think I should just do the entire video? Yeah, we're gonna have to do it in chunks. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 on this video. then jump onto the next video just so we're not wasting time. I think. Questions. Negative. Okay, I'll do the next video right now.